What's going on, everyone? So, in a shocking turn of events, Mason Gooding will return for Scream 7. Variety reports. Mason Gooding is the actor that plays Chad in Scream 5 and 6. We know that Sam and Tara are not going to be in this movie. Mindy is not expected to be in this movie. Jasmine Savoy Brown said herself that she's not returning for Scream 7. So that means this lone survivor, the one that we have seen survive an absolute brutal attacking by multiple Ghostface, is back, baby, for the upcoming Scream 7. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, this is still a little surprising. Just because none of the other core 4 members are back. And so it kind of felt like, okay, well, they were just going to kind of move away from the core 4. Well, now that Chad is back, but none of the other ones are, I think this is kind of interesting. What capacity is he going to be in this film? Is he going to be just kind of like a cameo, right? Is it something that kind of, maybe ties Sydney into the others? Could he be the opening scene kill? That's something to keep in mind. Could he be? I might actually do a video about that independently, right? But in what realm is he going to be in? Is he going to be one of the kind of main characters in this film? Right? Like maybe the other core 4 members go a different direction and, maybe he's the only one that's willing to help fight or something, right? Like maybe he goes with Gale and Gale and him team up to go help Sydney. That could be a possibility, right? Maybe Sam and Tara are kind of like, hey, that's Sydney's problem. And he's like, she came and helped us. I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting to see how they're going to approach this. How are they going to go about Chad in this upcoming Scream movie? I mean, this officially makes him like the Dewey, right? Because this will be the 3rd film that he's in, and he's just been brutally attacked and killed in every single one of them. And I mean, at least Dewey's was a little more realistic. Honestly, look, Mason Gooding, I like Mason Gooding. Chad, like the character, I guess is fine, but my problem with Chad is that like it's been incredibly unrealistic killings, right? Like, people point to, well, Dewey got stabbed in the back once. Like, right? Like in Scream 96, he literally got stabbed in the back with a knife in the back. And then that was it. And then in Scream 2, it was a little silly. And everyone was like, oh, it's a little silly. But they justified it by like, he got stabbed in some old scar tissue. We watched 2 Ghostface literally go to town all over Chad. I mean, like, his entire body. Just literally hitting every orifice. Like, just turning him into a cheese grater. Right? Like, and somehow he walked it off. Right? No big deal. And that's the problem. Also, my other thing about Chad is, like, we don't even know what his character is. Like, he's the example that I talk about all the time. I've talked about, like, Mindy and all the other ones. The character development for the Core 4 has been awful, in my opinion. Right? Core 4 kind of seems split amongst fans. Like, fans either love the Core 4 or dislike the Core 4. Or I see a lot of, like, Mindy. Like, a lot of people are like, I can't stand Mindy. Like, get rid of Mindy. Obviously, Melissa Barrera's character, Sam, in Scream 5 was a little, like, people couldn't stand her. And then that people kind of came around to her in Scream 6. But nonetheless, like, the Core 4, like, I've talked about, like, we don't know who these characters are. Right? Like, we know Chad was a jock because he wore a Letterman jacket, but he's supposed to be like this sweet, sensitive jock. He's not like your typical jock, right? But like outside of that, like who is he as a character? What does he do, right? Like same thing with Mindy and Tara and Sam and all. Like I just feel like the character development for these characters have been so lackluster, right? And so if you clearly have Mason Gooding who is on board and wants to do these Scream movies, right? He clearly loves doing these Scream movies because he's the only one coming back from the Core 4 after the whole Melissa Barrera thing, right? So clearly he has a good connection, a good relationship with Spyglass. The people behind Scream have loved Mason. Like we've literally gotten reports after Scream 5 that he was their favorite. They were going to kill him and ended up keeping him around because they liked Mason so much. So chances are they're probably going to keep keeping him in these films as long as they can, which is fine, right? I'm okay with it, but you got to develop his character, right? You're not going to have the Core 4 in this film, so you got to also explain, like, what happened to the Core 4, because last we saw, Chad and Tara were, like, becoming a thing, were becoming an item, so did they just, like, break up? Like, did she just get bored because he was recovering and she just like dipped on him? Is this like a 2.0 of Dewey and Gail's relationship where Gail keeps leaving Dewey at the altar essentially, right? Like, what is this going to end up being? Chad, the good thing about Chad returning this film is he has the potential to kind of be the bridge, right? Like you can have him kind of bridge the past and the now, which I think could be kind of cool, could be kind of interesting. I still really lean towards they might end up killing him. Like I wouldn't be shocked at all if they ended up killing Chad. And kind of, I mean, we've watched him die on camera twice in a brutal fashion. Again, say what you want about Dewey, but like the attacks that Chad endured were nowhere in the same category as the attacks that Dewey had, especially that Scream 6 attack, which, again, I've even talked about, was very disappointing, right? Scream 5, it's like, all right, sure, I guess, right? Like, sure, right? Kind of one thing. Like, the car came and saved him, like, right in time, right? All right, I guess. Even after we saw him get stabbed, like, literally 10 times. But, okay, right? 50 Cent got shot 9 times. Chad can survive 9 stabbings. What are they? Little stabbings? Stop. He's a tank. He can handle it. All right, fine. I'll give you that one. I'll give you Scream 5. Scream 6, he should have died. Now, again, even if you wanted Chad to survive, him surviving took away from that awesome dual Ghostface moment where they both like that was such a cool scene. And it would have been even more impactful and just better if Chad actually, I don't know, maybe died from them doing that cool scene. That cool scene basically essentially became nothing. That cool scene just essentially got completely null and void because no one died. Like, and even that whole film period, no one died. Like, literally, like, Annika was like the only one that really died. Everyone else that died was like in the bodega and then like the psychiatrist, right? Like, that was it. It was just like, man, I really hope they don't go that route in this film. But look, I'm all for seeing Mason Gooding back. I'm all for seeing Chad in this film, to whatever capacity he's in this film. Like I said, I think that they have a real opportunity to kind of use him as like the bridge gap character, the one that kind of get everybody on the same page and kind of maybe explain a few things and, kind of be the dialogue that's like, okay, well, where's Sam and Tara? Why are they? And he's like, well, they all like, the girls just wanted to get away, so they went to Rome and left me behind or something like that, right? Like, I think that that'll probably be the explanation. Like, my guess is that's probably what'll happen, is like Chad will be like, my sister and the girls went to, Italy or whatever to go have a girls trip, right? Like, I'm almost positive that it's going to be something like that. Like, I'm pretty confident that'll probably be the explanation. Like, oh, they left me behind because, they wanted to have a girls trip and, so that's what ended up happening. And then that's why Chad is alone in this movie. Like, I mean, how else do you explain that? Right? Like, did everyone else, even if Tara and him broke up and her and Sam all went their separate ways or whatever, like, what about Mindy? Like, where's Mindy? Why doesn't he have his sister? Right? Did he just get away? Did he just, like, why is he in Seattle or whatever? Unless he, again, like I said, he's the opening scene. I'm curious to see how they're going to kind of make this make sense. I'm curious to see how they're going to kind of play this out, how this is all going to add up. But, again, I'm all for Chad being in this film. I'm excited to see kind of what direction they go with him and his character and how they tell his story and stuff. And hopefully it's good, right? And hopefully they develop him a little more. Again, like, if you're going to have him in this movie, great, fine, beautiful. But please, can we please, like, add some development to these characters? Can we please, like, get a little insight into these characters? Like, that would be nice, right? Like, that would be cool. Right? I would love that. But, beyond that, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about Chad officially being in this film? Again, per Variety, so it wasn't like some murmur, like this came from them that hey, he's going to be in this film. Excited to have him in the film. What do you think ends up happening to him? What do you think ends up happening to his character? Do you think he lives, dies, mixed, middle? Again, however you feel. Whatever your thoughts are, either way, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.